G'day guys, welcome to the second seminar or second video if you like during the 8-week challenge and for anyone at the Code 5 gym at the moment. So what I'm going to be talking about is just staying on track, progressing throughout the 8 weeks and a little bit in life in general. Also looking at some goal setting, some different techniques that I've used in the past. I know some people have used that are really successful. And finishing off on mindset, how to stay positive and how to look at things in a positive light. Although I hope you are having a positive life. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is progression, and I'm going to give you 5 simple things that can help you progress in the gym, and you can also put it into other aspects of your life, in your careers, in your relationships, and things like that. Very simple one, doing the extras, guys. So you've seen some people that succeed in the gym and some people that might be just struggling a little bit, and you can tell the difference is some people will do huge amount of extras, okay? They might be on the bike after their PT session for another hour. They might be going for runs and swims outside of their gym sessions. They might be doing a group class and doing a personal training session and not having a day off, okay? Now, I'm not saying I want you to overtrain, but think of little things. And the old saying, I guess, that they talk about footballers is he was the first on the track and he was the last to leave. And I guess that's why he was the best, right? He was always out there. He was always doing the extras. And it's no real excuse or it's no real surprise, of why he became the best player. Another really basic tip for progression is just to increase the weight. If you feel that in a repetition that you're doing or a specific exercise is too easy, don't just sit back in your comfort zone and tick along. Make sure you increase the weight and push yourself a little bit harder. Obviously, in the same token, increase the repetitions. I know personally, when I started training at failure last year, I saw a huge increase in my strength and hypertrophy. I got a little bit bigger as well. So I want people to take that on board. If you work to failure, you know you're going to get a lot more out of your sessions. Obviously, do it safely and hopefully with a trainer. But working to failure is a great way to overload your body and get a result. This is a huge one for me as well. And I know a lot of people can get bored in their training, so always try and learn new things. That's why you have a trainer, and I'm certain that we do teach you guys a lot of new things. But a clear example for me today was I just asked Tyrone, I said, mate, give me some shoulder exercises. I want to try something new. He gave me 3 ones I haven't done before, and it was a great workout. I'm excited to incorporate that into my current program. And I know that it will really burn tomorrow because it's something new that I've done, and it made me think throughout the whole time as well. So I was really excited with trying the new exercises, and it motivated me a little bit more to change stuff up in my chest exercises and my back exercises as well. The final one with progression, I think, is a huge must, is recording all your results. So continually writing down, recording it on an app, maybe things that you eat, obviously recording your eating habits, monitoring your intake, how much you're putting in your body compared to your outtake, how much you're training. And then just your actual amount of training, the amount of reps you do, obviously the weight you do, and trying to hit progressions, because that's the way you'll improve in the gym. And obviously you can take a lot of those things into life, like putting extra time and effort into personal relationships, maybe into building relationships at your workplace, obviously working harder. All these sorts of things will help in life, especially with progression. So take those all on board. The next thing I want to talk to you about is goal setting. So we're going to go over 4 or 5 things with goal setting as well. We'll go over 5 actually. The first one is a big one for me, is always set goals that motivate you. You don't want to come and just have that attitude that, it might take an afternoon to achieve or anything like that. You want to think, I must do this for my life. I want this change. I must do this. Create that sense of urgency. And then when it comes to the point in your life when you have the opportunity to go for a beer or go out for a big breakfast with a mate, you'll decide that's probably not the best option on a Saturday morning. You'll go hit the Code 5 bootcamp at 8 a.m. With 50 other people, crush a big session, and then you might go out for some salmon and scrambled eggs and really take care of your body. But what I'm trying to say is create a goal that motivates you, create the urgency, and it'll help you really drive towards it. Next one is SMART goals. So specific, never be generalized, like, I just want to get fitter. Set something like you want to do a certain run in a certain time. Measurable. So don't just say like, I want to save money you know, how much do you need to save per week, and then that equals per month, and then per year will hit your savings goal. Okay, so always make it measurable, make it attainable. Is it physically possible for you to do it? I would say for myself to run a marathon in the Olympics isn't physically possible, and win a gold medal. So I'm not going to put that down as one of my goals. Make sure it is definitely relevant. So relevant to you, like where are you going in life? What do you want to achieve in life? If you might be traveling over Indonesia for 6 months, I'd say a nice goal for that would be to learn Indonesian before you take off, or learn the basics at least. And then make it time-based. So always write a time of when you want to achieve the goal by. Again, it creates that urgency. Now, this is a huge one for me. I love this. My business coach 2 years or 3 years ago now told me this goal. And funnily enough, when I was doing this today, preparing for this, I saw the whiteboard that I still use that I bought a few years ago, where I write down my goals, because writing your goals is awesome. Writing stuff down makes it real. I feel it when I write it down. It makes you visualize it, makes you think about it. I personally write mine down monthly. If I'm really motivated, then I'll write them down daily. Rub it out on the whiteboard, write it again. It just makes you want to do it. Makes you want to do what's on the whiteboard. So I'm going to grab my whiteboard now and I'll show you it. So I've got mine here. For those that don't know, I've been staying in a few different houses at the moment. We've finally got our own place. So they're my goals, CJ. I want to hit 400 members in the gym by December. I want to learn basic Indonesian by November. I want to train 5 days a week. I want to run a marathon, which I actually did recently, which was good. I got to see it on the board, so I went for it. I've got a sales course online I want to do. I've already signed myself up for it, so that's good. And I want to learn in complete depth Facebook marketing to help grow the gym. Now, I was also at my friend's house looking after his dog, and I wrote a goal for him. There it is. Elephant's goals was to, I think it was shit once per week in the house, which he achieved very easily. So he had some goals too. And my girlfriend's goals there, Megan's goals are up on the board as well. So as you can see, obviously writing down the goals, seeing it daily really encourages you to do it. So I definitely tell you to do that. The other one is to create an action plan. So steps that will help you achieve a long-term goal, things that will keep driving you forward. My dad always said, he told me, son, reward yourself. I think it was because I had a very small attention span. I wouldn't pay attention all the time. So he said, study for an hour. Give me an hour of study. And then you can go reward yourself with maybe going to the beach for an hour and going for a surf. Or going to kick the footy, whatever it may be, going on a social media app, something like that. But I still find today that works for me to give myself a 2-hour block and say, I've just got to work out for 2 hours, and I'm going to walk up the shop and grab a coffee, or I might go for a run, whatever it may be. It really makes me focus for the 2 hours and put my phone down and not do anything but focus on what I need to achieve. And setting those goals really helps, and those time in the action plan that you put forward will really help you, propel you towards achieving those goals. And then the final one is just to stick with it. I know that seems a lot easier to say than it is to do, just to stick with it. Nothing ever really comes easy, and nothing worth achieving comes easy, obviously, as we've all learned that in our lives. It really resonates with me with Sam's video where he said, I hope you've seen that recently. I think it's had like 4,000 views. It's gone berserk. That Jerome posted. You know, you could be having a bad day. You could be having a bad week. You could be having a bad year, but it's always going to get better. And I know personally, I'll always be there at the gym to help anyone if they need, or I'm always one phone call away. And I know Sam's a really great guy, and he'll always accept anyone's phone call and listen in and give advice, or it may just be listening to you that you might need. To stick with your goal, because maybe just talking about it sometimes will help you realize it is important to you and you want to achieve it, and that conversation with someone really helps. So stick with it and don't just drop it off, okay? And I think writing it down, obviously doing all the other things I spoke about, having a plan in place will help you achieve it as well, drive towards it. Okay, the final thing I'm going to touch on, guys, is mindset, and that relates to progression. It relates to your goal setting. It relates to everything in life, because positive people attract positive people. And if you're negative and if you're down and if you are looking at things the wrong way, I guess, then it's more likely that you aren't going to achieve your goals, that you're not going to be driving forward and trying to achieve what you want. And it could be in the gym or it could just be in life. So the first thing I want to talk about is a negative sort of thought. I want you to think about why you have them. What's happening in your life? What's happening in the exact same time period when you have them? Is it only when you do something specific, or is it a lot? Identify them. And then the second thing I want you to do when you identify them is I want you to log them. So log the time you have them, log a reason why you have them, and then I really want you to talk to someone about it, and it could be me, it could be a friend, it could be a family member. Run it by them, say, I don't know why I might be thinking this. It could be a particular person in your life, it could be something, and then you may have to address that, because you don't want to continually feel negative or have that little voice in your head saying negative things, especially in your careers, but in the gym as well, because we want to make sure you're attending as much as possible and pushing towards your goals. You're not getting this negative voice in your head when the gym's telling you can't do something, because I guarantee you that you can. It might not be in that session then, but you'll progress and you'll get stronger and fitter and you'll be able to eventually do it, whether it's in training or whether it's body composition, getting into a certain body fat percentage. You will be able to do it. Then I want you to think about when you do hear that voice in your head. So this is number 3. When you do hear that voice in your head telling you something negative, it might be saying, my personal trainer, is frowning today. He's not smiling at me. He's pushing me way too hard, and he hasn't made one single joke. So I'm not enjoying my session. What a dick. I want you to think of another way you could rephrase that. So that first negative comment's going to come to your head, because it comes to all of us. I want you to have a deep breath and think about how you can rephrase that. So, geez, my personal trainer is acting a little bit differently today. I'm getting pushed really, really hard, but I'm still sticking to it. I'm still staying in, so that's good. He hasn't made any jokes and he's not too friendly. I hope he's okay. I might ask him if he's okay. So then you completely flip that negative around. Instead of bringing it upon yourself and thinking, geez, they're after me, it's so negative. You've then looked at it from another light and thought, maybe they're having a bad day. I might ask how they are, and start a conversation with them. Or just simply bring up that you feel a little bit sick and you can't get trained that hard. But never let that negative thought sit in your head and run around your head like that. The other thing that I've done in the past to change my mindset, and I know a lot of my good friends I've told about this and they've brought up on in their life as well, is writing a gratitude diary. So anything I'm grateful, I write down it. It could be I was grateful that Nigel went and picked up a coffee for me because I was extremely tired. I had a late night and had to get up early for work. It could be that my girlfriend surprised me with a weekend away. Whatever it may be, it could be I'm grateful because I booked a holiday overseas. You have to write these things down because they make you feel good, and write them as in depth as possible, as much depth into the comments as possible, because when you look back at them, they'll make you feel good again. Research proves that writing a gratitude diary can help people feel better, okay? And feel really grateful for what you have in your life. Like, I'm grateful for meeting so many people in the gym, having built so many relationships with so many people. And it's sort of like my home at the moment. I was moving around for 6 months and it became my home. And I was so grateful for that and so grateful for all the support I had from everyone in the gym. So I want you guys to try and take that on board. It's really simple to write a gratitude diary as well, guys. Do it every day. And that's it for the second seminar of the 8 weeks. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you wrote a lot of notes, or at least you can come chat to me about it all anytime you like. I'll write a brief description and some key points below anyway. Have a great evening, guys, and keep living the code.